Nick's your buddy. Nick's your pal. Nick Menken back here with DocSports.com. Today is Sunday, May 17th, 2026, and I have a free MLB comp play here between the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox. Now, before I do so, you know Doc Sports been in business 54 years and running. All I ask you to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that like button, as it costs you guys none. Helps me out a ton. And before we get into this free play here between the Chicagoans, gotta let you know, we got a 7-unit banger here coming off tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the WNBA side of things. Our first 7-unit play, folks. We've cashed in our first top play in the WNBA, and we are 6-0 over my last 6 selections here, folks. Make sure to use that promo code YourBuddy. Save yourself 10% off any daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly package under my name over at the website. All right, folks, enough about me. Let's get you into a crosstown rivalry here, as we got the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox, as Griffin and I actually went to the game last night, and I'm the Cubs fan, he's the White Sox fan, and he had the better laugh in yesterday's performance as the Chicago White Sox put on a clinic offensively. I will say that 8-3 as these White Sox bats continue to produce runs here in ball games and early, especially at home. That is a hitter's ballpark, no question about it, at Wright Field here. But let's look at this matchup, as we got a rubber match between the Cubs and the White Sox. Cubs winning that first game, and the White Sox actually taking game 2 last night, 8-3. And again, that offensive production here from the White Sox, their bats are swinging very well, as the Chicago Cubs will have Colin Ray back on the mound. Now, he's 4-2, one of their more reliable arms in this rotation, I must say, for the Cubs, but he does have a higher end of an ERA, 4.68 to be exact. Eric Fetty will get the start here for the Chicago White Sox. Now, he has not been good in a win-loss perspective here, as he's 0-4, but he does have a lower end of an ERA. He's under 4, sitting at a 3.77 here. But when you look at the Chicago White Sox, well, they're 3 games above 500 here at home. This is where they play their best baseball here at home. 13-10 are the Chicago White Sox at home. And you look at the Cubs, well, they're 1 game below 500 here on the road. 11-12. They play their best baseball, obviously, in Wrigley Field. But again, this is basically like a home game for them. There was a ton of Cubs fans, and I guarantee you there will be a ton of Cubs fans here again at Wright Field. I think this is strictly a bounce back game, more so on the offensive side for the Chicago Cubs here. And I'm even willing to go on the run line with the Cubs, especially with Colin Ray and Eric Fetty trying to figure himself out here at Wright Field. Definitely a smaller ballpark here, and I think the offense for the Chicago Cubs comes alive in this game here, just like we saw the Sox come alive last night. I think it's the Cubs' offensive turn here, especially with Colin Ray on the mound. So take the Cubs on the money line, and I do like the Cubs here on the run line, -1.5. That is your free play, folks. I am Nick Menken with Doc Sports. If you're looking for more sports content and free picks from Docs, make sure to click this video right here. It'll take you right to it. Once again, folks, I'm Nick Menken with Doc Sports. Best of luck, and as always, best bets.